Welcome everyone to the latest episode of simPRO Chats with Daz and Adz. I'm Darren from Platinum Consultants and my partner.
I'm Adam from amak Consulting.
And today we're talking to you about the latest releases, 20.2.5 and the soon to be released 20.2.6.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your support so far. And we're really enjoying bringing these podcasts and YouTube clips to you. Well, hopefully this latest one has some good release notes for you that I think will be able to give you some great information on what's coming up and what you should be looking at and what you should be implementing into your own business.
Mm-hmm.
So I reckon we get straight into it.
I reckon we do, buddy.
So the first point is a very small one, and so we won't spend too much time on it. But one of the things that's a little bit annoying, if you have been using simPRO for a while, you create a new employee and they hang around on the scheduler for 30 days until finally they disappear because they realize, hey, you're not scheduling this person anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now with the new feature, you only have to wait 3 days. So you put a new employee into your system, and if you haven't actually scheduled them in 3 days, they'll disappear. But of course, there's the show all employees tick box, and you can bring them back and actually, put schedules on them and schedule them to jobs and whatnot. But I think that's good. Waiting 30 days seemed a bit long to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only for new employees. So you don't have to schedule all of your employees every 3 days. Once you've scheduled them once, it keeps them in for 30 days from that point forward.
Mm-hmm. And then I think after the 30 days or whatever it would be, they drop off again anyway. So
yes.
Yeah, these guys were just dagging around, not doing anything, not going out, not making any money. So now they can just go.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And
according to the schedule.
Bloody overhead. Get rid of them.
Yes.
Get them out of the list.
Scheduler says time to leave.
Yeah, it's time to go.
All right. So what's our next feature?
Next one. This is actually a cool little one. I've actually had a few customers make comment that they've now started seeing these, which is really cool. So it's just a little badge icon over the top of the tabs, or they used to be tabs. So they still tabs now? Are they?
I don't know what you call them. Over the menu items, I guess.
I'm going to keep going with tabs.
Yeah, I'm tabs.
Yeah, so the tabs inside of jobs and whatnot. You should start now seeing a little badge icon over the top to indicate how many attachments or whatnot there are inside of them, or tasks or anything like that. I think it even shows you how many cost centers are in the cost center list, I think.
Yep, it does. It does. And the variations as well.
Yep, that's pretty cool. So yeah, so you don't have to randomly just click in tabs just to see if there's stuff in there. You'll actually be able to see that there is stuff in there now without having to click on the tab. So save you a little bit of time.
Yeah, and tasks was probably one of the only ones that actually had something in there. Now they all do, which is really good.
Yep.
This is another little one. These are little sort of user experience enhancements, I would call them. It just makes it just that little bit nicer to use. There's no one's, sort of jumping for joy and buying cupcakes for everybody. But definitely it makes the usage of simPRO a little bit nicer. So this next one is when you're converting a quote or a lead or say a recurring job, if you're actually converting one at a time, so right click or just tick the box and convert one, it'll actually pop up and say, would you like to open that job now, or open the quote, or open the recurring invoice, for example. And, it's a quick way in. Otherwise, for example, I do use recurring jobs a lot for what I do. When I convert a recurring job, I then have to go to the pending tab and I've got to find it and I've got to click on it to open it up. It's nice now, right click, convert to, would you like to open it? Sure would. And bang, in you are. What do we got next?
What a time to be alive. So the next one, again, just a nice little enhancement, I guess, attachment date. So when you're uploading attachments into your leads, quotes, jobs, you'll now see the date that they were actually uploaded.
Yep, I think that's really good.
What to say about that? I think that is what it is.
One thing to be careful with that is that it is the date that it was uploaded, exactly as Ad said. It's not the created date or the photo taken date, which I did hear, by the way, that mobile app already has that on the cards, that they're going to be bringing in what's called EXIF data. And essentially that's the photo information that's embedded in the photo is all going to be coming across as well, which is great. Go mobile.
Go mobile. Is it coming in Connect?
Yeah, locking archive jobs.
locking archive jobs?
Why do we want to lock archive jobs?
To stop people from buying stuff.
Yes.
Literally. To stop people from buying stuff and hiding that stuff that they're buying in archive jobs.
Yep. And let's be diplomatic here and say that people could accidentally raise purchase orders or add costs to archive jobs. And if it goes to the wrong job, then, you know, that can affect somebody's profit and loss, sales, etc. And there might have been the odd person or two out there that had a bit of an inkling to do that on someone else's job that had been archived.
I'm going to sneak some cable onto your job, Daz, because
that's right.
It was already the profit was already crap on it anyway. So
well, you know that job you did 2 years ago.
Yeah,
no one will notice. Make my profit look a little bit better. Well, now you can't. You ruined it for everybody.
No cable for you, man. You're locked.
You ruined it for everybody. So now in the settings, in the setup area, in the defaults, you can actually make it so that it's not possible. So I think that's really good. And to be honest, it happens a lot accidentally. You type a job number in. If you get the job number wrong, you could accidentally do it.
Or you could not accidentally do it. You could do it on purpose. Accidentally on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with scheduling. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So merging purchase orders. If you ever need to merge purchase orders, like I know there are some people out there that have been asking for this for a long time, and I've had some people say to me, "Why on earth would I need to merge a purchase order together? Why would you need to merge a purchase order?" Bit of a mouthful.
That's funny. I was actually going to throw to you to put you on the spot, but you beat me to it. Nice.
I know.
So
yeah, I'm throwing you under the bus this time around.
Yeah, no, I'm squished.
I got all
there's actually
archive jobs. You can explain merging purchase orders.
That's right. So there is actually a very good reason. So there's two that I can think of. So one key one that I've had recently is some suppliers actually have a minimum purchase before you can get free delivery, or they charge you an arm and a leg, and some of them just won't even send it to you unless you've got a minimum amount of items, right? So this actually solves that problem. And by creating, let's say each person creates a purchase order, this is what I want. The next one creates it to the next job and says, here's what I want. The next one creates it to their job and says, here's what I want. Now, every single person, there's no risk of them accidentally ruining someone else's purchase order. What they had to do before is you'd have to open the order, you change the job number, you add then additional items to this purchase order to another job number. When the purchase order got to a certain value, we've reached the threshold, we can now send it off to the supplier for delivery. Now, each person can create their own. The purchasing officer or whoever it is can, storeman, can then connect all those together, merge, and then one order can go off, and each person really just has to worry about, hey, I'll put my order in. When we've got enough, it'll actually arrive. So I think that's a really good one. And another one is if you are ordering from a few different jobs and somebody's ordering from 5 or 6 different jobs, and we notice that they are all actually the same supplier, we can select all, merge, and send one order and receipt, one delivery for the whole lot, which is fantastic.
Totes.
I think I might have overdone the ideas on that. Have you got any to add?
Not really. No. I
think that gives people, gives you a bit of an idea that it is actually useful.
Yep.
All right. So that's 20.2.5, and that's should be currently out now. So if you haven't got it on your build yet, it'll be out like in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah. So we got some real juicy stuff coming up.
Yes. It hasn't officially hit yet.
I know, 20.2.6. There's something specifically in here that we've been waiting for, especially in Melbourne, for about 100 years. So I'm going to start with that because that's going to be the most important.
Go for it. Sink your teeth in.
Sink my teeth in. Hourly allowances. Hallelujah. We've got allowances in simPRO. It's finally happened. It's finally happened. All those phone calls from all the BDM saying, Ads, have you got any idea how we can get allowances into simPRO? All the customers that I just flat out say, sorry, we can't do allowances. It's now on its way to being able to do them. So in terms of how they work, they've actually kind of done it in a pretty good way as well. they've been able to do the allowances where it's at an hourly level now. So you can actually do under the schedule rate, override the schedule rate with the hourly amounts that you're paying in addition to the actual wage to the staff member, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Sorry.
I was wondering how far you sunk your teeth in, so I was letting you keep going. Yeah. But you can do a few things with the schedule rates, and this is another debate: schedule. I mix and match depending on the day. Yeah. So not only can you have an hourly allowance. So what would happen is, let's say I get paid $25 an hour. Which is way overpaid for doing YouTube videos. And let's say that I get an allowance of $5 per hour because, you know, I need all my equipment and I need to use a special microphone, etc. Mm-hmm. So that would obviously add up to 25 plus 5 plus your direct costs, mm-hmm. you know, which is super, long service leave, etc. And then your overhead would go on top of that. But what if I was at and these are potentially called EBA rates. There's probably a few different union rates, maybe. It's probably a few different terms for the same thing. But on some sites that are run by particular unions or particular organizations, they tell you what you need to pay your employees. I know the audacity of them to tell me what I should pay my employee.
Outrageous.
I know, it really is. Like, it gets my goat. But let's say these jobs are potentially profitable, so you're going to do them anyway despite this. So as an apprentice, I might be getting $30 an hour because their union says that's what I have to pay, regardless of the fact that I'm normally on $9.50 mm-hmm. or something terrible like that, poor apprentices. So what you can do with these schedule rates, you can actually have an overriding pay rate for a particular scheduled rate. So when if I go and I select, instead of say normal time, I might select EBA site rate. Mm-hmm. It overrides my $9.50 appalling apprentice first year rate, and it will put in my $30. Woohoo! I'm working on this site as much as I can from now on. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And that is what's going to go into simPRO against the job. Plus, I can choose to have an hourly allowance or not have an hourly allowance on top of that. Now, for those people that have a daily allowance, unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. The best we can suggest for that is probably, you know, work out your average hours, whether it's 8, 7.5 or 10, and divide your daily by that. It's going to be very close by the end of the week.
It'll be there or thereabouts.
It'll be pretty close. Yep. Not 100%, but generally the costs at least good enough for the job profitability to the nearest 20 cents or something, you know. Yeah. So I think that'll be really good. But the pay rate override and the hourly allowance together or separately, bloody-tastic, mate.
Yeah, this has been so long overdue. It's really going to help simPRO kind of start really cracking into that commercial building market, where we've always had compromises when we're getting into that project area of simPRO, especially from with them doing the income override codes.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see this now starting to come into play now, where simPRO is starting to kind of, I don't know, maybe really expand its horizons in the project management world, of being able to do income account codes, site allowances, and the pretty obvious next thing I'm assuming will be expense account code overrides. That's the one that we're waiting for. I know that we're all, yeah.
That would be fantastic when that comes in. Absolutely. And it's all heading in the right direction, as it usually is with the simPRO improvements. Some things, as you'll know, take longer than others to get done. This one, like you said, we've been waiting for a long time. I remember talking about this, 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago. But it's great. It's here. We're able to use it. And to be honest, I think the way it's been executed has been done very well. I do like it. I really want proper expense codes defaulted at the catalog, labor, and pre-build level. May have said that the previous times. Please, can we have that put into simPRO? Because I have lots of customers that really need that.
Yeah.
But this one is done really well. I do like it.
I think just like, before I move on, like there's this, like one of the things that you kind of pick up on when you've been in and around simPRO for so long is a lot of their updates are kind of themed a little bit that you kind of pick up on. So like the common theme with the last few updates from my perspective is kind of project management and projects, like where, you know, the income account codes, we're now looking at, you know, we're just talking about them, allowances, the schedule comparison reports. There's a lot of these updates have been quite themed towards project management. So I'm fingers crossed that expense account code's coming sooner or later.
Yep. Everything crossed. That's for sure.
Toes crossed.
So next, we're talking about column headings on scroll. Now, this is another little one, but it is good. So that when pretty much anywhere that displays a table with items in it, as you scroll down the page, you're going to get what they call sticky headers.
Yeah.
And the heading sticks at the top of the screen so that you can always see what it is. They did that a little bit earlier on some of the reports some time ago. Now it's pretty much going to be everywhere that's got a table. So that'll be really good. And then now we have a bit of a feel-good release. It's a bit of a warm and fuzzy one. Tell us about it.
Which one is it?
It didn't make you feel good enough.
No, they all make me feel more fun. It's like
that's true. It's hard to tell them apart.
Purchase orders?
The employee
the profile photos. That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, we did do the merging purchase order, which is another good one.
Yeah. You don't want to explain that again, do you?
So why? Why do we want to have employee profile photos?
Who wouldn't want to see that beautiful face of yours, Daz? That's why. No, so what essentially they're allowing us to do now is actually upload photos of your employees into the employee cards. So that's going to do a couple of things. It's going to allow you to modify the table view in the employee area to be able to see all the different pictures of everyone. If you can't remember what Frank looks like, you can then go to the employee area and have a look. But that's going to feed into more important parts. So one of the cool little things that we're going to be able to do is set up our notifications to go out to the customers with the technician's name and their photo as well. So if you're very heavily service orientated and you're in a lot of doing a lot of resi work, you can get the notification set up to say, here you go, Mr. Customer, here's your job. This is the technician attending your site. And here's the photo of the technician that's attending as well. So there's no surprises for when they rock up. They know exactly who's going to get there at their property, which is a really cool little feature. And what's the other one that's going to do, buddy?
So, of course, when you click on their profile, it'll show you within their profile card. When you're looking at a list of employees, it's going to show you in line next to each employee. But also when a technician is clocking in and clocking out on the dashboard, it displays, where they clocked in and where they clocked out. Now it's going to have their little noggin on the dashboard. You're going to actually see rather than that generic, little gray man symbol, it's actually going to be someone's face when they clock in and clock out. Doesn't that feel good?
I like the gray man. What do you got against the gray man?
He's very anonymous.
He is very anonymous.
So now we know who's, assuming you recognize them.
The gray man? No, the employee, I'm joking.
The employee headshots, yes.
The employee headshots.
Awesome. So if you don't have all those on file somewhere, you might have to, at your next team meeting, get your photographer in you and take photos. I think it'll actually go a long way. And I do like the idea that from a workflow perspective, when I book my training jobs in, I've got a notification that says, don't forget, Darren's coming out in 2 weeks. He's coming out in 4 days. He's coming out tomorrow. But you can have other notifications like your technician. So when they hit start travel, your technician is currently on his way. Here is his photo, just to make sure that you're aware when you see him lurking around that he is our technician. And that can happen from the time they hit, start travel. So, I think that's quite good. You can do it from the day before. You can do it straight away when you schedule someone. This is the guy that we've scheduled. Keep an eye out. Or when they hit start travel, it's also another good notification. I think it's good. It's a good safety thing.
Absolutely. I agree. I think it's a great little safety thing. And it's been around in other software packages. So dare I mention
the S word.
The S word. S with the M and the 8. It's been in there for a while. And I know that we've had customers migrate over to simPRO from ServiceMate. And they've always had the ability to do stuff like that. And they've missed it when they've come across to simPRO. So I'm glad that those customers that have migrated across from ServiceMate now have the opportunity to implement something similar in simPRO.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a good thing, and all these little things, these releases are happening very regularly, which is, by the way, great for our show. We have a lot of topics and a lot of guests that we're still queuing up to talk to, and there's so many releases coming out. We keep having to do these ones, but
it feels like we're becoming the feature release experts at the moment.
Yes, I know.
Change ourselves from the simPRO experts to the feature release experts.
But let us add to this and say, we research the new releases and the usage cases for them so that you can just get it in a downloadable format, so you don't have to have a look and try and think of what I'm going to do and where do I have to go. Mm-hmm. I think that covers us for this release session. Is there anything we've missed?
No, I think that's it.
I think we've done okay, and we didn't go over on this one. That's pretty good, eh?
And allowances are out, Daz.
Allowances.
I know.
Yes, I know. There are certain people who probably did a few backflips, and there'll be certainly a lot of customers that will now go back through what they've currently got in their setup and add all the allowances in. I think it's going to make a huge difference. So from me, don't forget, by the way, if anyone needs help, we are implementation consultants, we are simPRO trainers. You can contact us directly, and I do simPRO sales as well. So I would very much appreciate if there's anybody out there who is looking to get simPRO, or you have any friends that have got trade businesses, get them to give me a call or to email me, and I can do a quick over Zoom sort of check to make sure simPRO is going to work for them. It's my goal to make sure that when we're doing a sales process, absolutely they know exactly what they're going to get when they get it. There'll be nobody who gets to the training process and who says, oh, the sales guy told me this, or the sales guy told me that. So
that never happens anyway. So.
No, nobody's overzealous when they're selling.
We've always said that, the salesmen sell the dream, and us trainers make it happen.
Yes, that's right. So I'm going to do both for you.
Yeah, you can do both. You can sell the dream and make it happen.
Exactly right. So Darren at platinumconsultants.com.au if you want to contact me, and for you, Adzy.
Yep, info@amak.consulting. You can reach me there.
Fantastic. Please like, subscribe, share this YouTube video. Obviously, there's no income in it for us. We're trying to do it for you so that you can get a lot of information. It gives us a bit of exposure as well. But we need to know whether you like it. We need to know whether there's any other topics you want us to cover. Feel free to comment and pass this on to other people. The more people that we can get watching it, the more we know that people like it and it's working for you. So we'll keep making them.
Totally. And do you remember the email address that people can reach us at?
simprochats@gmail.com.
Hey, Daz.
It's only taken 10 episodes.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. But
fantastic.
I'll just echo what Darren said. If there is anything that you'd like to hear, or if there's any feedback that you've got, please shoot it our way. We did have some feedback that you'd like to see some examples of what we're talking about pop up on the screen. So we've implemented that now. So if there is anything else that you think would be handy, please let us know, because ultimately these videos are for you. We're making them to try and help out. Like Darren said, we don't get paid for them. Plus, it just gives us a good excuse to jump on Zoom and talk about simPRO, because why wouldn't you want to do that?
We love simPRO.
Oh, mate, it's the best.
All right. Well, that's all from us.
Yep.
We'll
All
see
right.
you in the next episode.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.